All right, good evening, everyone. You're welcome to our Microsoft Excel class. Right, as you all know, I'm instructor Peg, and you are here at Potion Technologies. All right, this is where we train data analysts and not clickers. All right, so firstly, I apologize for the link being sent late, but I believe we're all in now. All right, so we dive into what we have for today, the agenda we have for today. All right, so before we go into what we have for today, I would like to know if anyone has any question. Any question concerning the last class? Any question concerning the last class? Okay, so I believe there are no questions. So if there are no questions, I'll definitely ask my own questions. All right, so now who can explain to me what data analysis really is? Anyone? What do you understand by data analysis? Okay, so I'll go this way. Mr. Isaac, please, can you help us?
Good evening, this is Jane.
Okay, good evening.
Good evening. Okay, data analysis is the process to be able to gather information and process it, then draw out, make meaningful insights about it, and draw out other process, like process information in order to draw out meaningful results or insights.
Okay, to what end? To what end? All right, thank you so much. Thank you so much. You have actually tried. All right, at least you said something. Mr. Christian, can you help us to what do you understand by insights, Mr. Christian? Mr. Christian with us?
Yeah, I'm with you.
All right. So what do you understand by insight?
When she explained that about getting meaningful insight into the data is probably referring to getting the understanding of the data on how to use the data for prediction, or how to use the data for planning or for any other decision making.
Okay, but what is insight now? Like, I don't even know what the word insight means. What really is insight? I don't think I understand insight. You
Hello, are you with me?
have to process data, right? I have to process information
Yeah.
to get insight. What really is insight? What am I getting actually?
Insight is like a deep understanding.
The results also.
Insight, result. I would like more light on that. Mr. Jane, you were saying something.
Yes, I said insight is a deep understanding of something.
Exactly. That's what I was looking for. Understanding.
Understanding. Okay.
Understanding.
Yeah.
So
To understand
someone might
something better.
processing data to understand it, right?
Yes.
To understand what is happening for data-driven decisions, planning, strategies, and the rest.
Okay.
Okay, thank you so much. You all did well. All right, so the major aim of this question and answer session is so that you can understand what you are saying. Because when you get to an interview, you have to know what you are saying. You have to have the right terms, the right words to use to describe what you are explaining. All right, so that's why. Now, can someone explain to me you can list the types of data we have and then explain one of it. Who can do that? But first of all, what is data?
Data is information.
Okay, examples of data.
Examples of data.
Yeah.
Could be anything. Um, could be anything. It could be what do I
Mr.
say?
Sune, can you help us? Give me examples of data. Let's go wide. I didn't hear you.
Text can be a data.
Okay.
Images can also be a data.
Yes.
And numbers, yes.
Numbers can be data. Yes, exactly. Now let me ask a question. The air you breathing, is it data?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, it's
The air you breathe out, is it data?
Yes.
yes, it's data.
However, I looked into the air and just see some very small particles or fragments of maybe microorganism or all that flying around just in the air or floating in the air. Have you ever seen that?
Yes.
Is that please, if your background is noisy, please just mute your mic, please. I would really appreciate that. We want to have a smooth recording so that we can help ourselves. So that when you get the recording, you can hear clearly. All right. So data is actually everywhere, like everywhere. Data is used by different persons. What's not important to you is important to someone else. I like to refer to music, for example. Different sounds, walking step, that's data to someone. That sound is data. Water pouring out is data. Someone's laugh, that sound of a person's laughter is data. I mean, you go into the comedy you watch on YouTube. Sometimes you can hear someone laughing, a particular voice laughing, a common voice that is being used, laughing or saying some words, and different other things. Those are people's sounds that people use to just create content. Those are all data. The sound a shoe makes on a towel, that's data to someone. You're pouring water, that's that sound that it makes pouring water, it's data. Your key is clicking in your pockets or on your hand, is data to someone. Data is everywhere. Data is everywhere. So data is used by different people in different sectors. The microorganisms is data to scientists or the lab technicians. All of these things are data. Data is everywhere. All right. So now, I think I called Mr. Sawyer before. Mr. Sawyer, can you help us with the types of data? Probably you can list them and explain one of it, or you can explain all, fine.
Data, types of data, right? Is it have structured, unstructured, and semi-structured?
Okay.
The structured one is a data type that you can actually count, that are tangible. Things you can relate it like numbers or number of people. Things you can, tangible things, sort of.
Tangible
That's my
things.
understand. Yeah, things you, yeah, well,
Data that are organized.
I say tangible, that is things you can actually put into places or different put, and you can
Rows and
separate it
columns.
somehow.
They're called rows and columns.
Yeah, things you can actually separate to make meanings to you, like you could see them.
Okay.
Not like water that you cannot count, but something that is countable, so to say.
Countable. Now, let me ask a question. Can you hold a photograph?
Picture or the act,
Yes,
the act or the process. Yeah, you can actually hold a picture.
but what kind of data
You
is
can
it?
actually hold a picture or picture, image, picture of something.
So what kind of data is it?
You can count it if it's something you can count. It's something
Are
you
you
can actually place in a row.
Now, data is not always tangible. It's not necessarily maybe countable or not countable. Structured data is that it is organized in rows and columns. It's organized. All right. Structured data is that it's organized.
Okay.
Yeah. So you don't want to make that mistake to say, oh, it's countable, it's tangible. No, because many a times your data is in a cloud, in a database, or a system. Can you hold it? Can you count it? Now, your email, you can count the letters, you can count the words. Will you say they are structured?
Not really.
So you have to really be analytical about your thinking. Don't just say, oh, can count it. No, the major thing that it can be organized. It's always, structured data is always organized, always organized. All right. So
Okay.
that is structured data in rows and columns. Like you have your spreadsheets, like your bank data. How do you organize it? Like your name, your BVN, your account number, like that. Row by row, column by column, and so on. We'll go into rows and columns. But basically, this is what this is how it is. These are columns and these are rows. So you can just arrange them in a very organized manner. All right. So don't make that mistake of saying they are countable or tangible. No. There's a difference, all right? The major thing about structured, when you say something is structured, it means that it's well organized, it's planned. All right, so that's it.
Right, get it.
Yeah. All right, so who wants to explain unstructured data? Unstructured data. Okay, I'll call him Mr. Inhyain. Mr. Inhyain, can you help us with unstructured data? Feel free to explain however you understand it. You don't want to just keep yourself here. And when you get to interview, start explaining something else. You are in a training process. So just
well, structured data basically are data that are not, which is actually the opposite of structured data, basically.
okay.
Yeah, I think we covered that in the last class as well too. Correct?
I'm even on transit. I'm on transit. I travel. So
Right. And that's, I believe that's a personal responsibility, right? Hello?
hello,
Yes, I believe that's a personal responsibility, right?
you said what?
Anyway, guys, did we cover structured and unstructured data in the first class?
Yeah, we did.
Okay, because we also covered it so that, you know, let's not pull each other back. We would make the videos available, okay?
Yes, I'm just asking them questions actually.
Okay, no problem. But please, and as we recommend everyone, please join in with your laptops as well. We know that, you know, life happens and things happen. That way, for those of us who mentioned that we want to get the full grasp of the hands-on, that's one way as well. I'm also equally on transit as well. But if I sign up for class, I try to put in my best. We don't want anybody's money to waste.
Thank you, sir. All right, so I believe we all understand structured and unstructured data, right? Then the semi-structured. Can someone briefly just talk about the semi-structured briefly? Okay,
Yeah,
let me.
semi-structured. Hello.
I can hear you. I can hear you.
Semi-structured data are not perfectly organized. Examples,
Okay.
we have like emails, zip
Okay.
files. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much.
You're
Okay, so I
welcome.
think clarified all of the types of data.
Of course.
All right, so we're going into the next topic now. What does a data analyst do? All right, what does a data analyst do? So what is your job? What is your duty? What are you there to do? Everything you are going to do in your data analysis process is going to cut across all of these steps. All right. So as a data analyst, it's your job to turn raw data into meaningful insights, meaningful understanding, something that can be understood. Any kind of data analysis usually starts with a specific problem. You have to be a problem solver. It starts with a specific problem you want to solve or a question you need to answer. For example, why did we lose so many customers in the last quarter? Why did we lose so many customers in the last quarter? To find the insights and answers you need, you generally go through the following steps. All right, so one is define your question or problem statement, collect the necessary raw data, clean the data so that it's ready for analysis, analyze the data, create visualizations, and share your findings. I'll go over that one after the other. Now, the thing is, as a data analyst, there's always something to look into. A problem, a question, whatever it may be. All right. For example, look at the supermarkets now. I think here in Nigeria, we all know about ShopRite or Walmart and the rest. We know about ShopRite. Now, how does ShopRite know if they're having low patronage or high patronage? They probably are comparing with maybe a previous time or maybe a previous season. Like maybe last December, they made more sales than this year, December, something like that. Or maybe over the past 2 years, last year was not as good as 2 years ago. So now they want to strategize. It's November already. How do we plan towards this year? What can we do? What did we miss out? What affected patronage last year that we didn't look into? Okay, what affected patronage last year that we didn't look into? All right. So anyone that is doing a business and does not consider, like, for example, everybody is shouting in Nigeria, oh, dollar rate, dollar rate, dollar rate. Even water that's produced in Nigeria, they still call dollar rate. Everything is being looked into. So what would increase the patronage of your business? Things like that. So that's a question. Right now, people are already preparing for December sales. They are looking into different things. Small businesses, larger businesses, even schools are already preparing to close down, but schools behind the scene are already planning, how do we, and very soon now, you maybe by January, you will see admission in progress. They're already looking to attract new students. They come to plan, they come to strategize, and they look into probably previous planning they did. But now they will need data. You can't just guess and say, oh, we did this, so that's why it didn't work. There are so many factors put in play, all right, when you are planning a business or a trip, maybe family trip. It might even be your family trip, your holiday trip. Every December, you and your family people go to village. You and or people travel out of the country for the break or anything. Or you know that, oh, children we ask for Christmas clothes. You and your partner, if you're married, you and your partner would have asked, you and your spouse would have come together probably since last month or even this month, start planning. Oh yeah, oh, you know that Junior and Sarah will not allow us rest. How are we going to work out their holiday? Are we going to the village this year? Looking into the transport expenditures and all that, looking at how much you spend, all of those plannings. You can do, there must be a problem actually. And that problem can be put in the form of a question. Now, when you're planning for a family trip, what do you have to, number two, you have to collect the necessary raw data. What do you put into context? You have two children, a boy and a girl, two of them. They want Christmas clothes, Christmas shoes. You have to meet up to the expectation. You don't come and say, we don't have money this year, we're not doing this one and that one. Or you cannot come to your children and say, oh, we cannot travel this year and all that, especially if they're young. And maybe they've been singing around the whole house since, we're going to see grandma this year, we're going to see grandma this year. All of that, you will bring in all of this necessary raw data. At this point, now, when it says necessary means that some data are not needed. It's not every data you need from a company. For example, if you're planning for your family vacation, you don't need you probably don't need school fees now, except you want to plan for next year and say, okay, we can't spend this much. By the time they come back now, school fees is already in play. Or we can use November salary to plan for them, and at least by December salary, can now plan for school fees, things like that. So you might not even need school fees consideration. That data is not necessary. It is vacation or Christmas holiday expenses you are looking into. So you collect the necessary raw data, you clean the data so that it's ready for analysis. Organize every data. Go to your drawing board like we explained yesterday. Go to your drawing board, put in the necessary data. Oh, I already promised Emeka, I have to get, he wants to get a new sneaker soon. And probably they're the type that always give your children Christmas gifts every single year. You have to plan for the gift also. What are we buying? Are we buying a new bicycle? Or we're buying a new teddy bear for Ada? Or those kind of things. All of those things are planning. So you are cleaning the data so that it's ready for analysis. Then you now analyze the data. Okay, all of this, when you gather all you have to spend, their Christmas gifts, their Christmas clothes and shoes, then the traveling, you now look into it. In total, how many are we looking at? How much are we looking at in estimates? We're probably looking at 70 to 80,000 naira expenses this Christmas. How do we come about this? Is it feasible? If some things are not feasible, definitely you have to cut some things out. All right, you might, from analyzing the data, have to go back to this point and collect necessary raw data by which you remove some things that might not be able to be met. And maybe you can promise them, like, oh, don't worry, by January, I'll get it for you. Before you resume school, I'll get it for you, and things like that. So all of these things are planning, all right? All of these are data analysis. So you analyze the data. So when you analyze it, you create visualizations. You probably have 3 groups by now. One is Christmas gifts planning, another is Christmas clothing planning, another is the travel the trip, to and fro. They will go and see grandma. They will need some things like that, and all that. Probably you have to give grandma some money to take care of both of them, because they will always ask for biscuits, cookies, and all of that. All of this you have to visualize and look into it. And then you and your spouse now decide to share your findings. Okay, this is what we have come to in conclusion. How much do you have? How much do I have? Look at the plan and all that. All right, so you look at it. How much do you have? How much do I have? Things like that. And definitely, if you're planning also for January school will resume and all that, you want to cut down some things. So it doesn't mean that when you go down, you can't go back up again. No. Data analysis actually hovers around all of these steps. But there are even times where you're analyzing data and you find out, oh, we missed out something. No. I promised this person this thing. No. I promised a new bicycle or a new PS5. You have to go back and say, the analysis is not complete yet. Data is not complete. We have to add on that data. Things like that. So all of your data analysis process will hover around define your question or problem statement. You have a Christmas holiday to plan for you and your children. Collect the necessary raw data, clean the data so that it's ready for analysis, like organize them, arrange them. Probably you can have a drawing board and create a tree, more like something like this. All right. But then you have maybe on top you have holiday trip. Here you have something here. You have Christmas clothes, Christmas gifts. You have then the trip. Then you can now branch again. That's a tree. All right, it's called a tree diagram rather. You now branch again and break them into different findings and all that. So you collect the necessary raw data, clean the data so that it's necessary for analysis, analyze the data, create visualizations. Visualizations are more like your bar charts, your pie chart, your column charts, your funnel charts, your tree map. All of those things we'll be using. All right. We'll go through these processes one after the other to show you how to do all of this. Then at the last part, you share your findings to your stakeholders. Your stakeholders are more like either your boss or your manager, whoever is going to use your findings. All right, whoever is going to use your findings, you share your findings with them, so that the probably the board of directors or the committee will come together and look into your findings and plan towards maybe the following year or things like that. So that is what you do as a data analyst. All right, all of these things is more like how you just plan your day-to-day life and all that. There's a problem at hand. The salary is not enough. You collect enough data to work towards having your salary expand or being able to cover up expenses throughout the entire month. Then you remove anything that is not necessary, analyzing your data, create visuals and share your findings with yourself. You and yourself, you come about a decision. You make a decision that, oh, I cannot hang out with the guys every week. Oh. Maybe once a month, I can hang out with the guys. I'm not a family man. I'm now married. I have responsibilities. I can't do this and that anymore. Things like that. These are all planning. All right, these are all planned. This is all data analysis. So when it comes to a business also, these are the things you do. Why are we losing so many customers? Why are people not patronizing this particular product? Can we improve the quality of the product? What can we do? Things like that. Do we improve our packaging? All of these things are put into play. There's always a problem statement or a question. All right, is it clear? Is everything clear? Please, does anybody have any question about that? Response, please. Is everything clear?
Yeah, it's clear from.
Yes, it's clear.
All right. So now we're going into types of data analysis. All right. With the right type of analysis, all kinds of businesses and organizations can use their data to make smarter decisions, invest more wisely, improve internal processes, and ultimately increase their chances of success. All right, what does that mean? Now imagine a bank, all right? You can imagine maybe like any bank whatsoever has or let me say Potion Technologies. Now imagine we have a whole lot of students that have applied. For example, we saw the sheet that Mr. Simon actually showed to us where we had 60 applications. All right, but we had to now analyze the data, see how we can work with each other's requirements. We have corpus, we have students, we have workers, we have family persons. What is best for them? How do we adjust things? For example, as at last cohort, we had our class by 8 to 10. But now, looking at data, we came up and said, okay, let's have it from 6 to 8. These decisions were not just come up, we did not just come up like that. No, we have to look into the data. Majority, what is our major audience. All right. Now, if you have a company and your major audience are maybe children not more than, let me say, 5 years old, probably 0 to 5, babies, children generally, and you now want to sell maybe like office things, video games. Can they play PS5? I don't know. But all of those things, I don't think you will sell at all. Because you are well known for just baby things. So now decisions are not being made by guesses. Remember, we said that data analysis actually erases guesswork. All right. And we're able to make smarter decisions, investing more wisely, improve internal processes, and ultimately increase their chance of success. So now you are not just guessing, you are precise. For example, now December is coming. People have to make a budget on what to buy, things to buy, or things not to buy. You probably started this business maybe like 3 years ago. You have assessed like between 2 years ago and last year, there were some products that did not sell very well during December. Would you like to stock this year again? Definitely not. So you instead go for those products that actually sold very well those last 2 years. Then now you can look into an alternative for those that did not sell so much like that, and invest in those things that you believe will sell this year. Like people will patronize. Probably from people's questions, do you sell this? Oh, do you sell this? Do you sell that? You might look into it and be like, oh, maybe we can actually venture into this product. For example, Dangote was not always selling all of these many products like that. He just from little by little started selling tomato, from there sugar. Now he has going to refinery fuel. All right, he now has a refinery, things like that. He kept on improving and improving. What based on people's demand. All right, so you can have also a platform for feedback. You can go into the feedback, organize the feedback properly, in a way that you can understand, in a precise way, that at a glance you see what's happening. Go to the feedback. What are customers really saying? What are they demanding? What other product do they want us to venture into? Things like that. And now you say, okay, this year we won't sell this one, we'll sell this one. This year, even though we will sell this one, but we won't stock up with so many products. We might buy maybe like 20 cartons. Unlike last year where we actually budgeted for 50 cartons, and yet we had about 35 cartons left remaining after the Christmas holiday, and it's still there. All right, especially things that have a close range expiry date. All of these things to look into. All right, so it is the data analysts that actually gather this raw data and organize them in a way that can be understood, and then create what we call a dashboard or a report, which we'll do at the end. So with the right type of analysis, all kinds of businesses and organizations can use their data to make smarter decisions, not guesses, invest more wisely, improve internal processes, and ultimately increase their chance of success. No business likes to make losses, definitely none. All right, so even in Poshem, that's how we work. We work with the data we have. What will benefit the majority of the population? Who are those coming in? Okay, it seems our population have changed a little bit. Now we have, last time we had more of workers, this time we're having more of corpers, things like that. Now we're having more of students, things like that. We see this from the data we have. So to summarize, there are 4 main types of data analysis to be aware of. Descriptive analytics. Someone saying something? All right. We have descriptive analytics. What happened? Diagnostic analytics. Why did it happen? Predictive analytics. What is likely to happen in the future? Prescriptive analytics. What is the best course of action to take? Now, descriptive analytics talks about what happened. Like, okay, I gave the example of where we had you have a business, say 3 years ago. You try to compare 2 years ago with last year. You don't want to make the same mistakes you made this year. You want to work on the places you made progress this year and make more profits, things like that. So now you just do an analysis to see what really happened. That you had let me say like $1 million dollars worth of profit. It doesn't mean that every single product actually made profit. You'll be amazed to see that some products actually made loss, while some major ones made profit for the company. So you don't want to just continue guessing and just talking up the same product over and over. As a wise business person, you want to look at your data. What really happened? Is there a chance of improving profits? Is there a chance of improving patronage? For example, I think when before MTN used to have just their office branches, but now they have small kiosks by the side. Who people that small kiosks that do SIM registration, sell SIMs, and all those things, sell their MiFi and all of that. That is strategy to meet the a larger crowd. All right, to meet a larger crowd without having to get such a big property. You can just have a small one people can access easily by the roadside and things like that. All right, there are some persons, especially here in Nigeria, like in Lagos, where there's some persons that have their shop as a standby. Then they probably have some sales personnel who go into the traffic to sell things like gala and some other things like that. Gala, snacks, water, cold drinks. Those are all strategies. So what really happened between last 2 years and last year? What can we improve upon? Don't just assume, oh, we are making profit and so we just move on like that. No. Some products can be causing you loss, and you can optimize your chances making better profits in those ones that are making progress. So we are looking into what really happened. That is descriptive analytics. What really happened 2 years ago compared to last year? What can we do to this period? So now diagnostic analytics is, why did it happen? Why did it happen? You could probably find out that some of the products you stocked up during this December period is not needed in December. It's a holiday period. Or maybe you find out, oh, during holiday times, people don't buy these things. People are on holiday, they're on vacation, like summer period, Christmas period, and maybe the Easter and Salah are not really long vacations like that, long holidays like that. But like summer and December, oh, you look at the charts and you see like, oh, we didn't make so much sales of maybe like we didn't make so much sales of maybe office appliances, office and products. So you now observe that there's no need to stock up during summer and Christmas period. People travel, people are not in town, things like that. All right, I think for example, in Lagos, most times you see that towards that New Year period, you see that the road is so free, there's no traffic, people have traveled and everywhere is free and all that. So anyone else that is planning to sell maybe in traffic and all, definitely know that there's no traffic anymore for you to sell. So things like that, these things are being considered. So why did it happen? Oh, it was a holiday period. That's those 2 periods, summer and Christmas. All of these things you will look into. Diagnostic analysis, and most times descriptive analysis and diagnostic analysis go hand in hand. When you know what happened, all right, you can look into a particular period, like maybe July, August. Oh, this was summer. Oh, people traveled. Or you sell school things. Students were on break. Students were not going to school. They're not buying stationaries. They're not buying books. They're not buying pencils, pens. They're not buying drawing board and all of those things that they use in school. They're not buying those things. This is why it happened. So this period, we do not need to stock up these things. We can then stock up maybe ending of August to first week of September when students are now resuming school. This is as we considered. So predictive analytics, what is likely to happen in the future? So now you are looking, most times it's more like looking into the past and looking into the future. What is likely to happen? Your analysis will really tell you what's likely to happen in the future. You would make decisions on what to do in the future. Business personnel, schools, churches, business actually, they are all by now already planning for December period. During December, people will travel, definitely. Transport companies will be planning towards that time. To the east and maybe to other villages, especially the eastern part, people like to travel to the village. New Year period and all that. So schools also are making plans towards that period. They're also already making plans for to close. Churches, they already have plans. All of those things, all of these plans are done based on historical data, all right, data from the past. So predictive analytics, what is likely to happen in the future? To any business that you're doing whatsoever, definitely when you're planning for your business, you will look into the past to know what will happen. Prescriptive analytics, what is the best course of action to take? What is the best course of action to take? All right, so we're going to do something like during the course of our learning, we're going to do what we call what if analysis. That will show you things that we can just do some what if analysis to just know what will happen when you put in some action and all that. So what's the best course of action, things like that. So you get to understand all of these things in the course of we going into data analysis. All right, what is the best course of action to take? What analysis is more like if I put in this factor, what's the result I will get? All right, what will I get? If I put in it's more like saying like maybe doing an investment. I want to have by let me say next year, July, I want to have 1 million naira worth of savings. How much will I put in every month? You can do that. That is actually another part of what is the best course of action to take. By next year, maybe schools would have already put in place, okay, we want to have at least 50 students. Even while we're planning for this cohort for Potion Technologies, we put every factor into play. How many students do we want? How many trainees do we want to have in each class for Excel, for SQL? We have to make that plan. All right. There's so many things that were put into play to have the best course of action taken. All right. So that's prescriptive analytics. What is the best course of action to take? All of these things we looked at as we go on, and then you understand all of this. So these are more like day-to-day things that people actually look into. All right, they are day-to-day things that people look into in different sectors of their life. Your business, your private life, you plan to marry next year, you have a budget, things like that. So many of these analyses are being done even on your own with your brain, but then you learn how to take decisions precisely with certainty and not just guessing like that. All right, because there are other factors to look into. How about the economy? Okay, dollar now I think is 1,006 something. Someone can make a projection to work towards, okay, what if dollar is at most 2,000 per naira by next year June? What do I plan? You won't want to plan with the current exchange rate. You want to plan with the predicted exchange rate. You can say, okay, at most dollar will be 2,000 naira per dollar. So how do we plan? Things like that. So there are things that actually put in play. That is why I said yesterday that if your analysis is wrong, yeah, you cause the business loss and it's not your own business, they can arrest you. So all of these things are very, very important. Before I go on, is there any question whatsoever? Any question? No question, really. Any question?
Yeah, please, I have a question to ask.
All right.
From these types of data analysis you just mentioned, I
Yes.
discovered at the top, it's types of data analysis. Then coming down, you're writing descriptive analytics, diagnostic analytics. So my question is, what's the difference between data analysis and data analytics?
Okay, that's a very good question. Now, for me personally, I'll put it this way. Now, who takes up the job role of who is the person in charge of data analysis in a company? What do you call the person?
A data analyst.
Okay, that's settled. So we can actually say that data analysis is the process, right?
Okay.
Then descriptive analytics for me personally, it's more like looking into it as the different branches of the processes you are going to go through.
Okay.
Do you understand? They are like branched out. You have the data analysts doing the data analysis, but now they are different branches, like a family tree. All right.
Okay.
They are different branches.
Okay.
They all don't mean, so that it's more like it's broken down into different procedures. They are all processes, but broken down into different procedures.
Okay, more like you are saying that analysis simply means the process,
Yes.
while analytics means the results of the process.
The result of the process. Most times, actually,
the
this
process.
is actually a topic that is being looked into, analytics analysis. There are so many school of thoughts I've actually heard about data analysis and analytics. All right. But for me, that's how I understand it. That's the truth. Do you understand? That's how I understand it.
Okay, thank you.
You can do your own findings, and I'll probably come back on that so that you can actually understand better.
Okay, no problem. Definitely, I will. Thank you.
All right. You're welcome. All right. So, any other question, please? Any other question? Mrs. or Miss or form book, do you understand everything that has been explained?
Yeah, I do.
So no question. Mr. Charles, are you here?
I'm here.
Do you understand everything that has been explained?
Yes, I'm with you.
All right, perfect. Okay, so all right, so the last part is talking about data analysis tools. To analyze data, you need to use tools that can help you process and manipulate data. Some of the commonly used data analytics tools include Excel, R, Python, SQL, Tableau, and Power BI. Excel is a widely used tool for data analytics, and it is easy to use, especially for beginners. R and Python are programming languages that are commonly used for data analytics. SQL is a language used to query databases that you'll probably be doing next year. And Tableau and Power BI are tools used for data visualization. All right, so all of these tools are used to do data analysis. All right, but we're going to major on Excel for now. All right, we're going to major on Excel today and moving forward. All right, so now we are going into data analysis with Excel. Okay, so let me move into, can everyone see my screen?
Yeah, we can.
Yes, I can see your
Please.
screen. The Excel spreadsheet.
All right, perfect. Okay, so this is where we are right now. This is our Excel spreadsheet. This is our Excel interface. This is where we'll be doing everything we need to do. All right, up here you have the, this is where you type the name of your file. All right, now this is called a worksheet. All right, this is called a worksheet. But now the the worksheet is more like a page of a book. All right, the page of a book. You can see here we have different worksheets which I renamed. Actually, you can rename it by just double clicking, and you can rename your worksheet. All right, but now the entire Excel file is called a workbook. A workbook. All right. Just like in a book where you have pages, in Excel we call it worksheets, not pages. We have worksheets because we're not just flipping pages, we're working on each sheet. So in a workbook, you can have a number of worksheets, all right, like we have here. We have different worksheets on all that we're going to do and all. So this is our Excel interface, all right? And even in the PowerPoint, I had a slide here where you can actually see the different labelings, which I'm going to show you. All right, that's why I didn't come here. I'm just going to go directly into the Excel interface. So this is called an interface, all right? This is your quick toolbar, all right? Where you just have things you can click here. I can save, I can go back on a step or undo a step. I can go forward to a step and all that. This is just your quick access toolbar. Then here is your tab, all right? These are called tabs. You have your file. Here you can save, all right? And you can just save and work on where you have access to your saved files or to save a file you have worked on. Then you have home. All right, you have the home, you have inserts, and each of them have what we call different ribbons. All right, these things you see here are the ribbons. These are all ribbons. The top one is the tab, and these are actually called tab ribbons, but for short, ribbons. These are called tab ribbons, all right? Tab ribbons. You're going to be working with all of these majorly. Then you have insert, draw, page layouts where you just edit your page, formulas, and the rest. All right, then data will also be looking into our data. All right, so now we're on the home tab, and this middle part is called the ribbon. All right, then here you have the formula bar. All right, it's called the formula bar. And here you have the name box. Here you have the name of, now, where you see this green box here, it's called an active cell. All right, all of these are called cells. All of these boxes you see here, these small boxes, they're all cells. But now wherever you see this green line here, it's called an active bar. And I mean an active cell. An active cell. And this little dot here is called a fill handle, where you can just use to highlight a spot or just fill a format down or to the right, like that. All right. So you see a name here in your name box. It tells you the name of each cell. All right. It tells you the name of each cell. Now we're in it's telling you A1 right now. Now we have the letters you see here are called columns. The letters you see here are called columns, and the numbers you see here are called rows. Rows. Now many people try to confuse columns and rows. It's very simple. Now columns are vertical, from up down, from up down. All right, from up down. Columns are vertical from up down. Sorry for that. So columns are vertical from up down. This is column F. This is column G. Column E, column D is vertical, not horizontal. Now you have rows. This is row 1, row 2, row 3, row 4. Sorry. Row 4 like that. So now what you have in the name box is the name of a cell is a blend of the column and the row. The column and the row. That means we are on column D, row 3. You can see D3 here. We are on column D, row 3. If I go down, you just see D4, D5, D6, D7 like that. If I go to the right, you see E7, F7, G8, then G7, H7, and so on. So the columns and the rows make up a cell name. All right, the cell name. So these are active cells. All right, this is an active cell, it's an active cells. This is an active cell rather, and these are all cells. All right, you can highlight a cell. So all of these ones now are active cells. Okay, then now these are all your worksheets. Okay, this is just your worksheets where you can go to each worksheet and the rest. These are worksheets. All right, then this is your scroll bar, your horizontal scroll bar, where you scroll from left to right. Then your vertical scroll bar can go up and down. Now, another thing you can do is now, someone will ask, okay, how many columns or rows do we have? Now we can go to, now your columns, they just stop at Z. Now after Z, column Z, you have AA, AB, AC, like that. It continues like that. All right, so that's how it works. And you have a number of columns. Now to go to the end of the column, please listen now, this is a short key. To go to the end of a column, you use Control right. I held my Control key and went to the right, all right? To go back, Control left. To move to the end, I just held down Control continuously and click on the right arrow key, Control right. So the last cell we have is XFD, XFD. So what happened actually is that it went from A, B, A, C, A, D like that to you have B, A, B, 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 C, B, D like that until it gets to Z. Then when it gets to Z, Z, you will now see ZZA, ZZ, sorry, you now see it will now add another one again like that. ZZA, ZZB, ZZC, like that. So that's how it works. All right, so you have a number. Now to go down to the last row, you hold on same control down. Control down. So at the end, we have only 1,048,000. 1,048,000 and okay, 1,048,576 rows. That's what we have. We don't have more than that. So now that is one limitation you will see with Excel. So when you have data more than 1.04 million rows, definitely you will have to switch to a different software like SQL or Python. All right, but Excel is widely used, definitely. You don't always get to this point, but then larger companies do get to that point and way beyond. All right, so that's why we offer all of the packages when you learn to use other softwares. All right, so moving on now, to go back up, I'll just use Control Up. All right, Control Up. And we are there. Now, if you want to highlight everything, like when you want to highlight, you can just to highlight all of the cells from the beginning to the end, all of the cells, all the columns, all the rows, you can use Control A. Control A highlights everything. Control A highlights everything. All right, and to unhighlight it, you can just click anywhere. Then to highlight maybe all the rows, you use Control Right. Sorry. Control Shift Right, please. You use Control Shift, hold down those two keys, Control and Shift, then Right. It highlights everything. Then down, Control Shift down. That's how it works. All right, so to do that highlight, you can do that. Now, another thing with the highlighting is that, let me go into the data set. So now, for example, when you have data, if I use Control Shift Right, it automatically stops where I have data. Automatically it stops there. Except I now press Right again before it now go to the end. If I come back, it will come back to the end again and like that. So that's how Excel works. Excel notices when you have data in a cell. So now, for example, if I put Y here, all right, and I come here, Control Shift Right, you see it stops there automatically. It just knows that there's a data here, so it assumes that you want to stop here. But now, if you don't want that, you have to press Right again to go to the end, and that's how it works. All right, same with down also. If I put a data here, Control Shift down, it stops there. To go to the last, I have to click down again or press down again, and that's it. So that's about our Excel interface, all right? All of this you need to know to navigate through your interface, especially when you have to do something very quickly. Shortcuts are very, very good. So Control A to highlight everything. All right, then Control Shift Right to highlight, or left. You can go from right or left to just highlight whatever you want to highlight. The Control Shift down or up to highlight whatever you want to highlight. So that's how it works. These are your ribbons. These are your tabs. These are your tabs. All right, up here. These are your tab ribbons. Quick access to your formula bar, your name box, your columns, your rows, your worksheets. And now who can tell me what I said? A whole worksheet is called what?
A workbook.
Thank you very much. A workbook. These are very important. Don't think it's just small like that. We can have an assessment like that. So these are all we're going to be, this is all we have. Okay. Then one thing you have to understand is the formatting that works in Excel. All right. This is also important in cleaning your data, understanding your data. Definitely before you can clean your data, you have to understand your data. Now, there are different types of data that we have. We have numbers. Numbers can be integers, that's whole numbers. Numbers can be integers. You can have floats, that's decimal numbers. You have dates. All right, everyone knows what date is. Then you have strings. They're called texts actually in Excel. You have text also. Text, numbers, text, numbers, text, numbers. Why do you have to know this? Now, for example, now you can see that every data has its own alignment. What do I mean by alignment? Some are aligned to the left, some are aligned to the right. Now, if I just type, let me see, chain, you can see it stays on the left. All right, it's aligned to the left. All right, it's aligned to the left. If I use Charles, it's aligned to the left still. But now let me put 22. It's aligned to the right. You can see that. If I put 2 on, let me see, 11, 2024. It's aligned to the right also. So you can see for numbers and dates, they are aligned to the right. For text, they are aligned to the left. Remember, numbers and dates are aligned to the right. Text is aligned to the left. All right. And this is where you actually format your, this is actually for number format or text format. Now, if I highlight all of this, all right, and come here and click on text, you see my numbers are also seen as text too. And even the date has changed. Now, if you have probably a column, maybe you have dates, and you have 22, 11, 2024, then you have, let's see, 24, 11, 2020. All right, so you have this now. And now you have this as, you have the line to the left. Okay, this one now would actually show that it's not correct. Now, when you see this as a date, all right, you already know that it is actually not supposed to be a text. So you just come here and format it to a date, short date, and to align, to adjust yourself properly. So you always want to know how is your data formatted. And definitely every column must have the same format. You can now have dates here, here, and here. Then now come here and have a text. No, it's not done. So now if I have, let me say 25, 11, 2024, and I have this one as a text, definitely you will know that this is wrong. And how do you fix this? You just come here and make it a short date. Remember, these are things that you have to look out for in cleaning your data. You might see very funny formats. Very funny formats. Your data will not always be very organized. They can come in wonderful formats. You have to really inspect your data. Inspect your data to ensure every single column is correctly formatted. So yeah, if I have this one now as text, and this one number, how do I fix it? These are things you have to know. Now, if I also have, maybe here I have sales, and I have 33, 22, 12, 65. Now, I now see maybe these are all texts. This one does not change. Now, that's still the same numbers. But now you have to be smart to understand that this your data set is not well organized though. It's in text actually. They are not numbers. Excel will actually relate to them as text. So you want to know that your dates and numbers are aligned to the right and text are to the left. So now in seeing this, in expecting this, you would definitely know that your numbers are not well formatted. And so you can come here and just click on number, or you can even use currency, however you want it. Then you can use here and remove the decimal, decrease decimal. And that's it. So we'll do all of this, definitely all of this using all of these ribbons, all right, later on. But it's just so that you understand what this is all about, how your data are formatted, your text and your numbers. Text, numbers, date. Data numbers are similar, so they're aligned to the right. Then texts are aligned to the left. All right, so the first thing you want to do as a data analyst is not just to start analyzing, no. Inspect your data first. Check every column. These are data sets. Check every column. Check every single column. Index, numbers, aligned to the right. Invoice ID. ID. This one is an ID, so it can be left as a text even. It even has some text. Hyphen is also text. A is also text, definitely. Now, hyphen is also text. Now, when you have special characters like you have star, percentage, dollar, and so on. Okay, that cannot work because they're all special characters and all. All right, so Excel. All right, let me just put in one of them. At. So you see it at the left. So it is seen as text actually. Anything like that, even the hyphen or hyphen is a text. All right, special characters are all text. Anything that doesn't have number, they are all text. All right, except for date. The date has a stroke, yes, but that's how date is written. So they are all text. So look at our data sets here. You can see that this one is text. Fine. Branch is text. This is text. Customer type text. These are text. Now coming to the unit price, see it's now to the right. Unit price. Quantity to the right. Tax to the right. The numbers. Revenue to the right. Date to the right. Now you can see that some are not to the right. Some are not to the right. So this is actually an error that we have to fix. Then time is number to the right, payments, text to the left, written like that. So you see that data are not always very accurate. All right, data are not always accurate. We're not here yet. We'll fix that later. So these are things that you can see in your data set and you want to fix them. You need to fix them. All right, they just come in with so many errors like that, and you have to clean them. All right, so that's it. We're still on our interface today. All right, so I'll just erase all of this. All right, so another thing you want to know. Sorry, let me just. Another thing you want to know is just want to adjust this so that we can move on. Now, if you notice when you type into a cell, all right, you can now you see that a part of this name is actually entering into a different cell. You can have this. Sorry, I'm using your name because that's what I'm seeing on my screen. All right. So so now when you type into cell D1, it doesn't mean that this Omori is in cell E or column E. No. If I come here now and try to type, you see that this now has gone inside. It has gone inside now. So how do I do this? It's either I come here, you see my my cursor is cross now, all right? But now when I come here, it's still cross, but now it's black and it's like this. I just double click here, sorry. I come in, I double click. It just opens up for me like that. All right, it opens up for me like that. So you can have such situation like that. Another thing you can do is you can come here, click here, and click on wrap text. Now it says wrap extra long text into multiple lines so you can see all of it. All right, so I can click on wrap text and look at how it adjusts itself. So these are things you can do. All right, these are things you can do. So it has wrapped the text in one column. Or they're showing that, okay, so what it has to do is to expand the height of the column. Expand the width a bit and the height of the column to accommodate this name. All right, so that's what you want to do. Now, another thing we can also do, all right, is I can also come here. If I want to merge these two cells, all right, I can just do merge and center. Oh, sorry, yes. So I can do merge and center. So it removed the Charles actually. I'm not merging the two names, please. So now let me undo what I did so you understand what I'm doing. I would have erased this, sorry. So now we have now what I did is that I merged column D and E together. So it says merge and center. All right, let me just undo that. Now to undo what you have done before is Control Z. All right, Control Z. To redo is Control Y. All right, to undo is Control Z. To redo is Control Y. All right, so you can come here also and do whatever you want to do. Okay, but I can use my keyboard and do that. Control Z to undo, redo is Control Y. So now I have this. Omori is entering into the cell. I'm not seeing Omori so well. All right, so I want to remove Charles here. Now I'm seeing Omori because I've removed Charles. So now instead of just I can just actually highlight these two cells and do merge and center. So now you remember there was a line here. So that's removed the line now and adjusted to the center of the cell, occupying both spaces. Occupying both spaces. I can do the same thing here now and say Ocean Technologies. Sorry. Institute. All right. So if I try to type something here now to enter somewhere, you can see that Potion now has a part of Potion has hidden under the cell. But if I delete this now, it will show again. So now I can just come here, all right, highlight all of the cells it contains, or it occupies, and click on merge and center. So now I have merged the entire column and placed it at the center. That's what it does. So it's occupying like that. All of the lines in between have gone away. So merge and center. So either way, whatever you want to do, you do it. Either you wrap the text in one column or you occupy the entire column. All right, you can occupy like this one now is occupying like 4 columns and it has occupied the 4 columns, I'm going to work like that. All right. So you can, if you want to work with it like that, definitely this might be like a heading. All right. This can be like a heading. Okay, and bold. So now this now has entered. So now I can see it has occupied more spaces. All right. So now I can come here and still work on other things. And you see how you separate columns under. All right. It can be like a heading just to continue what you were doing. So these are things that you can do on your own. Wrap text, merge, and center. This you will need definitely when you're organizing your data set. All right. Like when you have this. Okay. This is called a data set. All right, a data set, which we'll be working on later on. Now, looking to our interface, these are things that you can do. Then this one now is just to, sorry. This one now is just to align to the left, center align to the right, things like that. Then you can make this bold, italics on the line. You can do all of this. All right, so you can increase the font. You can either use here or click on the drop down and increase it however you want. All right, these are things you can do. Or you can just increase it gradually like this until you have something you like. Okay, then you can choose any font you want. Okay, there are different font types here that you can choose. All right, depending on whatever you like. Then cut, copy, all of these things. Now to on our shortcut, you can use this. For example, I want to copy this. To copy is Control C. All right, Control C. Now you see this box dancing here. That means it has copied. I can come here now and click and press Control V to copy. You can see that it has copied now. All right. Now, if I want to move this away from here to on that cell, I can actually cut it instead of copying. So copying just takes the word and copies in a place where you paste it. All right. But if I want this to disappear from here, I have to cut it, not copy. I have to cut. So now I can come here and use Control X. Control X, all right, and come to on that cell and Control V. So you see now it has disappeared from here. So copy and cut are not same things. Copy and cut are not same things. When you copy, it leaves the original one and copies, and when you paste it there, you have 2 copies of it. But now to cut means to remove it from that cell and place it in a new cell. All of these are important to navigate around your interface. Copy is Control C, paste is Control V. To cut is Control X, paste is Control V. Paste remains the same. Whether you're copying or you're cutting, anyone. But copy is Control C and cut is Control V. Now, having said all of that, does anybody have any question about wrap text, merge and center, anything on the interface? The alignment for numbers and dates? Any question, please? Any question? Are you saying everything is understood?
Hello, ma. Please, this box beside this underline, how is it used?
Okay, this one.
Yes.
Okay, this one is more like it's just so it's a border, more like creating borders. You can just can come here and so it's just to create borders, all right, to highlight borders. So when you click here now, you have this line. I don't know if you can see it very well.
Yes.
All right, or I can come here and choose this instead, making it thicker. You can see this now. And I can also highlight everything in all borders. So you can see this like this.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can just the interface definitely will be using most from home, inserts, and data. Page layout, yes, towards the end of class, but we'll be using all of this conditional formatting, format as table. All of this will be using, this we've used today, and we'll still be using it. This, we use all of this, we're going to be using them. Format painter, we're going to use it definitely. All of this will be used. So format painter is more like, can come here, click on format painter, can come here and totally give me the same format with this, what I have here. So it has copied the format up there. So you can see here now it has more like merged the cell. All right, they're all merged. You can see the line here, the line here, the line here, the line here is off. So I copied the format from here to here. That's what it means. I hope you were able to see that. So that's what format painter does. It copies the format, all right, comes here, copies you have to click on whatever you want to copy, the format you want to copy. So it does not copy the text itself. It copies the format. That's why it's called format painter. It copies the format, not the text, please. Just the format and click it here. So now I can just type in anything and it takes that same format, merge and center like that. So you can use it for whatever. If I come here now and take the same format, let me do center align here and formats painter, and here, whatever I click now is going to be at the middle. All right, so that's how it works. So does everyone understand, please? But definitely as we continue through definitely by tomorrow we'll move proper into our data sets, functions, and all, learning all of this. We have a lot to do. Trim, absolutes, and relative cell referencing, data validation, and so on and so forth. But tomorrow we'll move proper into some technicalities. All right, so we're going to be very interactive tomorrow. So, does anybody have any other question, please? Any other question? All right, no question asked. Mr. Berechi, do you understand?
Yes, I do.
All right, perfect. Who again? Does everyone understand? If I'm not asking questions, well, we've not moved into maybe by the time we move into functions by tomorrow, if we start having questions. Mr. Soye, do you understand? Mr. Soye, do you understand? I can hear you if you are speaking. I can't hear you if you're speaking. All right, so that's it for today. All right, we'll come to the wrap of today's class. So tomorrow we're going to do, I'll put the agenda on the platform. All right, so that we can have a few, but tomorrow we're going into learning some functions. All right, learning some functions, and it's going to be very, very exciting. So please, our advice, if you've not been logging in with your laptop, please do. please do. All right. It's going to be very, very useful for you. All right. It's going to be very, very useful for you. All right. So let me just share this. Sorry. So a glimpse into what we're going to go into tomorrow. Can everybody see my screen?
Yes, I can see your
Yeah, I
screen.
can see your screen.
All right, so I think we did all of this today. Data entry and formatting, entering data into cells, cell merging, and wrap text, we did that. Formatting text, numbers, and cells, we did that. Formatting means using sorry, let me just so formatting is more like what we did here. All right, we'll be using more of this tomorrow though. Number, currency, account, short dates, long dates, we did that. So we even covered much more than I expected. Sorry. Okay, so okay, I just using basic formatting tools, font, color, and alignment, working with ranges. Okay, working with range, select and manipulate ranges of cells. Copy, cutting, and pasting, we did that, but we didn't do this, and we didn't do this. All right. All right, it's all good. So we're going to do this and this. Then we're also going to go into functions. All right, learning some functions, understanding formulas and functions, using arithmetic operators, common functions, sum, average, max, mean, count, etc. and the rest. So there's a lot that we can do. Okay. So we're going to go into all of that by tomorrow. All right, by tomorrow we go into all of that. And we'll have a swell time. So all of that will be done. Font, color, and alignment. I did alignment, but I didn't do color. I did font, but I didn't do color. All right, and also auto fill to fill series. So I'll go into that definitely. All right, so does anybody have any question? Once again, I'm asking. All right, so tomorrow I'll come with my own questions. So if you think you missed anything whatsoever, comment it tomorrow and I'll answer your questions, all right? You have to understand what you are doing here and how to organize your data. All of these formatting are very, very important. All right. I think I missed these two parts, but we'll see it tomorrow. So this is where you just color your cells or color your text. Something like this. I can color this color, and I can paint my text this color. I can come here and paint my text this color. So things like that. So I think that's all I didn't do actually. Nothing much. So this one where the bucket is pouring out is the paint. All right, and this one is for text where you have a. So I can use my text I can give my text any color whatsoever. And I can come here and open more colors. So like that. So I will still go into that tomorrow so I can have a grasp of it. But that's just about that. This one is just to use whatever text you choose for your text, whatever color rather. And this one is for the cell itself. Whatever you want to have as your background for yourself. So that's it. So I'll go over that tomorrow again. All right. In the absence of no further questions, which I will ask tomorrow, even from the types of data analysis, everybody understands. Okay. So I'll ask that tomorrow. So Try to remember that very well. Very, very well. So in the absence of no questions, we have come to the end of today's class. Thank you so much for making yourself available. Come with your laptops tomorrow. Don't log in with your phones. Please come with your laptops, all right? And I'll be dropping a file for tomorrow's class. All right, so with that, I would say have a very, very great night to everyone.
Thank you, Peggy.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you
you.
very
Welcome.